digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of king and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Yes, guys, welcome to Match Reaction with me, Dermot, aka Dermotron. And of course, my mate also in there. Back in the day, rumor has it, he was in Queen. Now, we're not sure what he did. We know Tequila was the main guitarist, Brian May, back in the day. I know you're in the chat, Tequila. Well, we're not sure if Rain was a bit of Roger Taylor or a bit of John Deacon. We're not sure.
I air guitared next to Brian. I air guitared next to Brian May. That's what I'd sort of. I did.
Lucky. Yeah. Nobody, probably people do know I'm a massive Queen fan, by the way, and Bowie as well. So, yeah, best two people to do the best song in the world, Under Pressure. What a great song, Under Pressure. I love it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a massive Queen. I'm a massive Queen fan. Just shame that never got to. I love go. I don't know why I don't do as many now as I used to, but it's just a shame I never got to see him live.
I know. I saw Bowie live 3 times, and I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I did. Twice in Ireland, and that at Net8 at Wembley.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I was at Net8.
Oh, crikey.
So that night there was George Michael, Bowie. Who else was on? I'm trying to think now. George Michael, Bowie. Who else? Bowie was on. I know the Irish girls were on. What's the name? I forget the name of the band now. Not Bewitched. It was the name will come to me. Who else?
When was this?
Williams actually. Huh?
What year was this?
Oh, this was 1999.
Okay.
Robbie Williams was on the same bill, by the way.
Wasn't the Cranberries?
No, it was the Coronas or the Corona. I can't remember can't remember the name. Anyway, that's enough about as David Clark says, shame about your musical choices. It is, but there you go. I'd love to know what yours is, David. I'm sure I'd say you're a Frank Sinatra fan.
I'm thinking more Katy Perry. I'm thinking more.
Yeah, no. I think there's a bit of Sinatra there about him. There's a look at Sinatra about him. Maybe Sinatra, maybe a little bit of the Rat Pack. There you go. Right, and also we've got. I think Tequila's a bit more AC/DC. I think he's there. I think he's definitely AC/DC. He's rocking all night long.
I
Big
was
up
at
to you,
I
Tequila.
was at ADVERTISE last year. And,
I've always, I've said it before. At my funeral, I want Highway to Hell being played at my funeral. That's
absolutely
what I want to
awesome.
play.
It was an
Yeah,
absolutely awesome gig.
that's where I'm going. I'm going straight to hell. I'm going straight down
Yeah,
the
yeah.
down the plug hole. Right, guys, we enough about nonsense for the first few minutes of the show. Welcome to Match Reactions. This is where we talk about Tottenham Hotspur's great win tonight against Slavia Prague. Again, we should have won 8-0. I don't know why we should have won at 8-0, but we won it 3-0. A win's a will, but I'm not over happy with the win. I'm happy with the 3 points. I'm happy that we're there and thereabouts in the league. I'm going to bring up the league table in a minute, but so much more should have been done tonight. But let's welcome a few people in, guys. We've got Edel Fano one from Hamburg, Germany. Big up to you, sir. Big up to you. We're going actually European now. I wonder, Tequila, can you put in the chat? Do you speak German or French? Because we might have to start German. I might have to start learning different languages now. I don't know. Well, how do you say hello in German?
I've never done. Do you know what? I've been to so many European countries. I've never actually even been to Germany. I've been.
Look.
I
I
spent a
will
lot of
say,
time in the Netherlands.
mm,
I've been to Denmark many times on work, and all around Austria quite a few times.
yeah.
But for some reason, I've just never gone to Germany, and I didn't do German. I even worked for a German company for a year. I've never been to
Jesus.
Germany.
No, I must learn. I must say, when you come in against, I will welcome to you in German. I will say hello to you in German. I've got to learn it, so I will do that for you. But big up, thank you. First in as well, and we've got Tequila Frank out Dermo. We didn't get the 10-0 when I asked for it. Tired of this. Yeah, I agree, Tequila. Really agree. I mean, you watched it Saturday, and look, I want to ask you a question. You can answer it as well, Tequila. Put it in the chat pod. But you're right. Was the game Saturday better than the game tonight? Because I didn't see the game Saturday, so I can't compare it where you can.
Yeah, it was absolutely better than tonight. Absolutely was. I'll just say, I'd love to go to Germany, but I'd love to go to Munich. I've got a couple of friends in Munich. I'd love
Yeah.
to go and visit down there. But Saturday was definitely better than today. It was well, we'll get into it, but yeah, I think it absolutely was.
Yeah, big up too. We've got Brian says, I wish I had seen Queen in 86 at Wembley. We actually had it in the background, didn't we? We've actually got it. I've watched the opening bit of the concert, which I love. I love the opening One Vision. I love that song.
We rocked out to it just a little
Yeah,
bit.
we did. I must admit, I love at the end when he says fried chicken. I really do. It's so funny. The one and only Temptations. Ooh, Temptations. I love a bit of soul music. I do love that soul sort of Temptations and all that sort of soul, the soul man and all this. Big up to you, David. Big up to Tequila. Nah, mate. I'm a Spice Girls all the way, and he's 17, ain't bruv. Boyzone. Now, look, okay, Boyzone are Irish. Tequila, you're now back in my lads. Well done. Well done. Well done to you. Yeah, Tequila actually is in English. He's from Dublin. Really, he's got a broad Dublin accent. He's a bit like that fella in the jungle. He puts on accents. You speak Tequila, he speaks proper. He speaks Harrier in Dublin. That's how he speaks. Big up to you, Tequila Bud. And he says, I can barely speak English, mate. You heard me. Comment, co- comment, Vaz to comment, Vaz to. There you go. From Ain't I Saw, I missed the second half. It was better than I thought. It was better than tonight. Second half, I missed the second half. It was better than tonight. That's fair. Funny story about AC/DC. I took over as a coach. Funny story about AC/DC. I took over as a coach, my team, and my son as my assistant. So we purchased 2 coaches tops with our initials on it. First game of the season, my son initials are AC mine are DC. That's brilliant. That is brilliant.
I'll just say the cause. Yeah, cause, not cranberries.
Yeah, that was it. Cause that was
The
it.
cause.
Cause.
Yeah, elsewhere. You said you might have to go back and watch it. If you just missed the first half, I don't know. It's your choice.
Yeah.
It was a bit.
I also want to say how great the bit for Son Ray got. Yeah, he did. Got me. He did. I thought he got an absolute brilliant. I thought he got a brilliant reception tonight, and he deserved it. By the way,
he did. And actually, let's before we actually talk about the players, the performance, and so on and so forth. I thought the crowd was rocking today. From what
they were.
Which isn't always the way with like midweek and Champions League games. So fair play to them. Mind you, it was quite up on Saturday. There was a lot going on Saturday, which is only a good thing. But there was. I don't know whether tonight everybody was put in a good mood by the whole Sonny thing. I did think he was funny. Don't feel bad about me. Or whatever he's. Whatever it was, the exact words that he used. Don't be upset with me. For leaving. Bless him. That guy. We need to hold on to
I love
him
Sonny.
as a Tottenham legend. But forever and ever, because that guy's got an absolute heart of gold. So yeah, fair play to him. The only thing I'm gutted about, obviously, being a season ticket holder who can't go to midweek games because I've got responsibilities at home. That means I can't go out on a school night. Is that they didn't do? Is that they did it? They didn't do it in a Premier League game. I'm a bit gutted, but. As long as Sonny got his trip back, I think that's the most important thing.
I think so. And it was nice for Tottenham did that. I love the mural as well of them. I think that's I've definitely got to get that. I was so gutted. I think everyone knows circumstances why I didn't get to the game on Saturday. But do you know what? I just I want to go over in the new year. I am definitely going over in the new year and seeing that. I think you mean the cause, 3 sisters, 1 brother. Yes, it is. Now, Tequila straight in. He doesn't waste any punches. Tequila is a bit like Mike Tyson. He comes in with a big punch, and a bit like Apollo Creed of the Rocky years. He's a bit like that, and he goes in straight, punches me right. He goes, "Dermo, are you still frunk out?" And I love to put. He went, disgust, and say sorry to Frank like I did to Ranch. Oh wait, he never did apologize. I'm going to be honest with you, Tequila. I'm not there yet with him. I've seen enough to prove to me that he's winning me over, but I'm not there yet. I want to see a bit more. I want to probably get to January and see how we are by then. I think if you look, we've played 2 games, scored 5 goals, conceded none. But we've played Brentford and Slavia Prague. Let's be fair. We haven't played Manchester United or any big teams. These are teams we should be beating. Let's get to Liverpool. I will give you an answer after the Liverpool game. That's for me. It's mine.
I think, Dermot. You know what I think. I think there's a player problem.
Yeah.
And I think that. By the way, I still don't. I'm still on the fence, right? I'm still on the. It needs time thing. But I think we played better against the better teams. I think against the lower teams, as it were, I think the players, like tonight, right? I think they get a bit complacent, and why is Man City one of our best performances of the season? It's because the team stepped up. Now, admittedly, we didn't step up against Arsenal and Chelsea, but I think that's because they just steamrolled us. But against PSG, we played decent, even though we lost. So yeah, that's I think I think they need to be. I think they need to be more professional. These players.
I agree. I thought tonight was very much. We were 1-0 up, and I was saying, "Go and get another. Go and get another. Go and get another," and they weren't getting another. They were sitting back, sitting back, sitting back, sitting back, and then suddenly Prague had a couple of chances. And if Prague, as I said in the watch along, if that was any decent team, you look, if you were playing probably Inter or Atletico or say Dortmund, who we do have, or say Sporting Lisbon or Marseille, right? They would punish you. They would punish you for their mistakes.
And there were quite, and then Slavia Prague had a lot of chances.
Yeah.
So I see David said the score tonight should have been 9-4.
Yeah, should have
Good
been,
job.
to be fair.
And yeah, I mean, I described it backstage as a basketball match.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely the way it was. There was no midfield. It was just going straight up.
Mm.
It was just going straight up. And we absolutely lacked a bit of quality. I thought Kudus was out. I thought Kudus was fantastic. I thought Xavi was okay, but we really lacked We really lacked cutting edge.
Yeah, we
Um,
did. Do you know what? I thought Kudus was the best player tonight. I really did. And I called him Little Maradona because there were some parts of that where he reminded me of Maradona, where I just couldn't get the ball off him. And for younger fans, I would really, really recommend going to YouTube and put in Maradona, and you'll probably find videos of 20 minutes or 15 minutes of Maradona's goals, 10 best goals or whatever. One thing about him, which Kudus has, I think, pardon me, I think Ronaldo had it as well. R7, I think he had it as well. I think Johan Cruyff had it, definitely had it. Maradona definitely had it. They got this ability of keeping the ball, but nobody can get the ball off them. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's glued to their feet.
Yeah, it could be 2 feet away from them. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They've still got the ball,
And that's why I kept.
It very rarely
Yeah,
was 2 feet away from him.
yeah, and that's why I kept recommending him, saying to him, Maradona, because he reminded me so much of Diego Maradona, the way he got the ball and his gravity and the way that he uses his upper body strength to keep them away. And they're trying to get at him, and he's pushing them away like it's just. I love Kudus. Very quickly becoming one of my favorite players at Tottenham.
Yeah. There is. I do remember one story that Glenn Hoddle came out
Yeah.
about Maradona. I think he. They were doing training before the. They were training on the pitch before the. I think it was the '86 game. I think Glenn Hoddle was there. Can't remember.
Yeah, it was.
But he said before a game, he was looking at Maradona and he was playing keepy uppies. But the way he was playing keepy uppies, he was kicking the ball up in the air, right?
Yeah.
And then coming down and then kicking it up in the air. So not I was never good at keepy uppies. I was a midfield general as far as it's not. It's a little bit easier when it's clutch. You keep it tight. And he said, and we were just staring at him. He was just kicking up. It was going straight up, and then coming down. And each time we tried to kick it up higher, and then come down. And it was the control that he had to as the ball came down to control it and then flick it up again. So it was just absolutely incredible.
I just look. I know we did have the debate once about, and I think it needs to be had again. Who was better, Pele or Maradona? I that debate has to be had again because I enjoyed that debate. I did win the last time, and I will win again because Maradona's the greatest player in the world. I think Lionel Messi is probably. I would say Lionel Messi is this generation's Maradona.
Yeah.
If I could be as blunt as that. I don't like Ronaldo. I find him an arrogant son of a bee. I think you got a right to be arrogant if you're good. But I just feel Lionel Messi's a bit more humble about it. And we all know Maradona had problems off the pitch. but I just feel I never got to see Pele play. I don't know how good. All I've seen is what I've seen on videos with Pele. But for me, Diego Maradona, and there was there was there was one move tonight. He ran and he reminded. That's what I said it about 86. He did exactly what Maradona did. The same spot. He just turned around with the ball and he just ran it. Nobody could get at him, and that's why I kept saying in the watch along, Maradona. Here we go, 86, 86, because it was just like 86. But look, look, David Clark says Pele so far ahead of other players, they would be on page 2. People love, Tequila says, I reckon BJ does the same as Maradona in training, right? I say he does, Tequila. Doesn't bring it on the pitch. We've got Carl saying, well, look, we missed the Gary Doherty, the Ginger Pele. How could we? How could we, Ray?
I
How
mean,
could we miss Ginger?
play centre back or
Yeah.
striker. So that just shows the quality of the Ginger Pele.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, I want to go back to this. Yeah. Anyway, Domo was the 5th member of Bewitched. How do you know? How do you know? David Clark says Shania Twain was one of my favorite female singer. Okay, that doesn't impress me much, but never mind. Tequila's really loving Porro at the moment. He goes, I'm glad that only true Spurs fans were there to cheer King Porro on. Sorry, Lord or Emperor. Take your pick.
It's a real worry, though, isn't it? I was when Porro went down. He was getting clattered. That they were really physical with us today.
Yeah, they were.
They were really going at us. I thought they were trying to wind us up. To be honest, so, yeah.
You know what? I think they were.
Yeah, David's pointed out. Mickey got a yellow card, which means that he doesn't play against Dortmund, which is a miss. But okay, it means Danzo plays. Paulinia definitely was in a battle today. Xavi, they pointed out in his after match interview that he just had grass and mud stains all up him because he does put himself about, doesn't he? He's not scared to put himself about Xavi. Everyone was like, "Oh, he's weak." I'm telling you, the last two games, I've seen someone who doesn't mind putting their foot in. That's what I've seen.
I thought Xavi played well tonight, actually, if I'm being honest. I thought he did a lot of work off the ball, was brilliant tonight. I still give my man of the match to Kudus, by the way. And I stick by that. I totally stick by that. I thought he was exceptional. We got I am Franking, give it time, he will come good. Romero was my man of the match by a country mile. His passing outshone all others and all other players. That's a good shout as well, David.
Yeah, it's opinions. It's absolutely sometimes it's like this player, but I think Romero he actually had a head on his shoulders today, which was in complete contrast to Saturday when he did not have a head on his shoulders.
I know. Carl says it's Richie when he's on, he gets it to him. If he has a second to think about it, he shits. Yeah, Richie tonight was dreadful. What else we got? The key there saying Doherty could play any or all positions. I never said he could play well, mind you. That is so true. That is so true. Then it said there's no part of the game Pele couldn't do. He would score with his head, but not with his hand. If you know what I mean. Well, yeah. Well, I still think it was a good shout. Anyway, I still think it was clever he did that. One thing though about Maradona and Henry, they got away with it somehow.
Yeah. No VAR back in those days.
Yeah. And David said because Romero took his tablets before he came on the pitch on last week. very
true. Do you know what? That wouldn't surprise me.
Right. Let's look at the league table where we are in the Champions League. It is very, very, very interesting. We are sitting in ninth place, just outside the top play for the just outside the automatic players, but on 11 points. But look at this, Rain. This really surprised me tonight. We've got Liverpool on 12, Atletico on 12, Real Madrid on 12 with a game in hand, Inter on 12, PSG on 12, and then you got Atalanta on 13. Now you look at Bayern Munich and Arsenal, both 15. Do you know Arsenal yet to lose? Bayern Munich losing one, but you think they're going to qualify anyway. But do you think we can sneak into that top 9? Top 8?
I mean, the Dortmund's going to be a tough game, isn't it?
Yeah.
But these players do. Oh, and okay, and there they are. So they're going to be absolutely going hell for leather. So that's, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think we're where's the knockout places down to?
8th. The knockout places. Oh,
Where's
sorry. The knockout places
where's the playoff places down to?
down to 16th.
Oh, okay. So we're going to get through.
Yeah. Sorry, down to 24th. See, we're in the seeded part. So anything in the top 9 is seeded. Then it goes knockout places. Then these are the unseeded ones down to 4th, and then these are the teams that will go out. I just want to see if Ajax won a game yet. No, not yet. That's shocking.
Weird. It's a bit weird, isn't it? It's a bit weird to see that when considering where they used to be. I think Dortmund will be a very interesting game. So I think.
Yeah. I think so too. But look, if you look at Tottenham's next matches, I mean, how important is it to get into the net? I mean, it's so important for me. Tonight was a game where we had to win, which we did. We had to give ourselves a footing also to give us a chance if we do qualify automatically, right? Then we don't have to worry. Don't forget, we've got the FA Cup in January. We've got league games coming up as well. We really don't need extra games in January. We really don't need. But if we do, how important is then the transfer window? Is to get bodies in quickly because of these extra games. Because we know players are either going to be tired, they could pick up injuries, there'd be suspensions. You know, I just think we need to get the job. Look, I think we can beat Dortmund. I agree with Brian. I think we can. I think we can go there and do a job. But how important is it for Frank to get into that top 8 and get qualified and put it to bed and be done with it? Because I think it's vitally important.
So how important? I mean, am I putting any importance on the Champions League? I don't know. It's tough to think of it like that because I have no expectation of us getting near the semi-finals. I'm not. So of course you want Spurs to win every single game, which would mean that we win. Which would mean we win all the silverware. Because that's the way that it would work. But I can't see this squad, getting through and then doing what Poch did and going one further than what Poch did in 2019. With it, so I just can't see it. Now, in terms of how important is January, I actually think the most important thing in January is who is coming back, because obviously Tell played tonight, got into the Frank put him into the Champions League squad instead of Solanke, and there's a story there somewhere. The ankle niggle, but I don't know. I guess that's for another show. But does Solanke come back? He's not currently in the Champions League squad, and who would come out for him if he does come back? Kulu's got to be back soon. You know, the
Yeah.
last I saw, Kulu was expected back around mid-December. Well, by my reckoning, we're coming up to mid-December quite rapidly. So, you know, it is where's where and when is Kulu coming back? Because the fact that Frank had to leave Tell out of the Champions League squad
Mm.
tells you how much space we've got in
Yeah.
our squad to get players. It's not like the old days where you could have a 50-player squad, you know,
Yeah.
and they never did. You know, they never did. They had like
Mm.
15 or 20, and you know, 13 of them basically played the whole season. With half of them injured.
Yeah.
But if we do get players, it effectively has to be one in, one out.
Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, look, like the keeper says, go and tell the medical staff they already used that one on Morani. They have short memories. The keeper's quite saying if you want to finish high in the league, you want us to go out the Champions League ASAP. Sorry, but that's the truth of it with our squad, and I agree with him on that. I do agree that you know we're not going to win the Champions League. Yes, it's nice to be in it, and we all love Champions League night. We all get excited by Champions League night. We all get a bit. I don't know. We get a little bit of back to 2019 with Poch and all. I run to the final, and we all get a bit romantic about it. But he's right. It's all about the league, isn't it? It's all about concentrating on the FA Cup as well. For me, if we get to the round of 16 or the quarterfinals, I'd be happy with that. For me, that is probably an achievable target. But it's so important that it brings in money, it brings in revenue as well. So it's important that once you get out the league phase, you also get more money for getting into the round of 16. And all that money goes into the pot for transfers. So I think it's vitally important that we give ourselves a chance. And tonight gave us that chance to get out the league phase. If we can get out the league phase, I think every Spurs fan would be happy. Look, we've done it. And whatever happens, we're not going to beat a Bayern Munich. We're not going to beat a Real Madrid. We're not going to beat a Barcelona. I still think Bayern Munich are going to win the whole damn thing, as personally myself. But we've got to be realistic, and I think he's right to say it. I think he's right to say it that we've got. Where is our hopes this season? And it has to be high in the league, qualify for the Europa League again.
Yeah, I mean that's it, isn't it? It's good to see Tottenham win.
Yeah.
It's not dead leg. It's good to see Tottenham win. It is nice. Europe is fantastic. You have the you play Slavia Prague. You go to Paris Saint-Germain. It feels different when we're
Yeah.
playing those types of teams rather than the teams that we play every season or but I'm trying not to say that I would absolutely prioritise the Premier League over Champions League, but you, because I think it's clear that Frank isn't. Frank is absolutely trying, and it might be to his detriment. He's trying to do what Levy said we would do in the summer, which is compete on all fronts. He is. We played a really strong team. Well, we played the strongest, almost the strongest team that he could tonight. I said that I wanted Xavi to start, but I didn't. I kind of half expected Frank to not start him, and then he did. So
you look at the lineup tonight, right? Just let me get the lineups up again. Where is it now? No, it's not the one I'm looking for. I mean, there's the lineup tonight. We've got a Vicario. We've got a back four of Spence, Porro, Romero, Mickey van der Ven, and Jed Spence. We've got a midfield tree of Palunia, Gray, and Xavi, and then we've got front three of Kudus, Odegaard, and Richarlison. Look, and the last bit of the show, and this last bit of match reactions, I want to talk a little bit about Richie. He was poor tonight, right? He was dreadful. I mean, the first shot within 42 seconds, that should have been in the back of the net. You, me, anyone in the chat would have scored that. He had a couple of chances, and then he tried that aerobatic wonder goal that he scored against Burnley. Totally fluffed that. We need to sell Rich in January. I don't know who's going to buy him after that performance, but if you could pick one player out of this team, who do you think should be dropped for Sunday?
So who would I? So if we would, if there was no rest of player concerns or any of that, who I mean, it would be thing with Richarlison. I mean, look, let's be clear. No striker scores every game, but he did feel off it today, and the concern is that he blows hot and cold, right? Really hot and cold.
Yeah,
he'll go on like nine goals in 10 games, which I think he did in Ange's first season, didn't he? 9 goals in 10 games, and then he'll just do nothing for 5 or 6 games, and you can't have your striker. You can't have your striker being that hot and cold, really. Maybe we've just been spoiled, but but I don't think you can. So was tonight an off night, or is it a deeper malaise with Richarlison? So you'd think Moani has got to play up top at some point and get a decent run up top. Yeah. If we're gonna get eyes on this guy as to whether I had a really good chat. We had a really good chat about Moani last night, and if we're going to get eyes on this guy as to whether we're going to spend money and buy him, then we need to see what he's about.
Yeah, that's true.
And up top in the striker, not left wing where we played him Saturday, and I thought he didn't have a brilliant game. Up top and give him like 5 games. Let's see what Frank does.
Yeah, I look, for me, I think the back four sort of picks itself on Sunday, doesn't it? I know we will put out a predicted lineup video, but if you are looking ahead, the back four sort of picks itself. We know your doggy's out, isn't he, with a hamstring injury to January? So the back four picks itself. Midfield, would you change much for Sunday? I know players can't play 3 games a week, but I probably put Bergville in for Gray, Bentancur in for Palunia. I would keep Xavi there, if I've been honest. Would you change anything in the midfield?
I thought it was really interesting that Gray has now started 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
That was really, really interesting. A lot of people were getting excited about Gray on Saturday. I thought he was tidy. It was like, and actually that's what you want from a centre mid. We all get blown away by the flair, the flair attacking midfielders, the number 10s. But you do need players who can get on the ball, do a little turn, and play it nice. You do need those as well. And I thought that was quite interesting. I don't know what sort of game Palunia had today. It was a bit. It felt like he was a bit. Felt like he was chasing the ball, and I didn't really understand why a guy with his experience didn't do what I think you were saying, which is just do your job. Stop running around like a headless chicken. And because I thought they were suckering us into playing basketball match. I thought it suited them just fine. And you want someone like Paulinho to be a little bit more disciplined and controlled. Otherwise, you may as well just play Bergvall, because
Yeah.
Bergvall will run around, all until the cows come home. So yeah, I don't know. It's a real toss up, to be honest. What would you do, Dermot?
I would put Bergville in for Paulinho. I'd actually play Gray and Bergville and Xavi in that midfield. I really would. I think that would be a good build for three. Look up front. Look, you got to play Morani. I totally agree with you. I think you've brought him in. He's starting to show that bit of class that proves to people that, look, I am a decent striker. Give me the chances. And the way he set up for the penalty as well is awareness around, right, if I can't score, I can then chest it down to one of my players or pass it to one of my players, which he's done before. I think the problem we've got is on the left-hand side. I do feel Sugar after Simeone in the January, because Odegaard tonight didn't fill me with any confidence. It didn't fill me that this is the player that's really going to put me on the edge of my seat. Mateus Tell, come on, didn't offer much, didn't do much really. He was very quiet. There is talk going around he is unhappy at Tottenham. He doesn't really want to be there. But for me, Sunday's game becomes even more important. For me, we backed up Saturday's win with a win tonight. We need to back it up Sunday for another win, I feel. But look, more about that and the weeks goes on before we get to the Forest game. We will bring out our predicted lineup. We will give our pre-game thoughts as well, guys. So do watch for that. Very quickly, I want to just turn on to two attentions that I missed while I was away for the week. Firstly, I will talk about Zuma in a minute. So give me a sec, Tequila. I want to talk a little bit, if I can, just a big show up. We've got Villa in the third round of the FA Cup, which I always feel the FA Cup third round is a big day in the football calendar. It's a big day for football fans. I've seen a lot of nervous people. God, not Villa. I think we can beat them. I think we can beat Villa and get to the fourth round.
The concern is they're on form.
Yeah, they're on form, but
they're
we
very
can
much
be on form. It's the
they're
cup.
very much, yeah. Actually, is it? Actually, is it in January? It's 10th of January. So there's some. Oh, it's a month away. So there's loads of time. So I think that's the concern, is that right now Villa are hot.
Yeah, hot.
And I've always had a soft spot for Villa, Dermot. Us, Villa, Everton. In the 80s, 90s, noughties. What obviously Everton and us stayed in the Premier League, and Villa went up and down a little bit in the noughties and the 2010s. But we like those three teams have always been that seventh to fourth. Have always we're always those seventh to fourth teams. So I've always had a soft spot for Villa, and the way that their clubs run. But right here, right now, I think that Emery has put together a really good squad, a squad that works. They're not. Yeah, Emery is amazing. Absolutely, a squad that works. They're not full of superstars, but they're good players and they know their jobs. They go out there and they do what do what needs to be done. There's no, is Emery going to play them like this or that? He puts McGinn out, who I think is an absolute beast. Puts McGinn out, and he goes and plays his position. Everybody knows the position that he's going to play.
I have to say, there's nothing else I can say in it. You are right in what you're saying, Ray. You really are, and I agree with Tequila. Emery is an amazing manager as well. I think I have to agree with Tequila. I would love him at Spurs, but with his Arsenal connections, he may want to come at Spurs to stick one up on Arsenal. To be
Yeah.
fair, the way Arsenal treated him. But look, I want to end off with this. I know there's been a lot of player power going around the last week or so. We've got Mo Salah at Liverpool. It's the slot Salah row. And also we've got Basuma doing what Basuma does best. Being a jackass, being a wanker, being a complete tosspot. I'm absolutely fuming with him. I think he's shown nothing but disrespect for the club. He's shown nothing disrespect for the shirt. I think he's got a winner's medal. That winner's medal should be taken off him and given to somebody else because he doesn't deserve a winner's medal. He doesn't deserve to be a footballer. He doesn't deserve the money he gets for being a footballer. He's a player where I feel he doesn't care. And if he doesn't care, well then F off. Do us a favor, right? Do us all a favor and actually go to the club and say, I want to cancel my contract. And then Tottenham say, okay, we will pay your what we were going to pay you. We're going to pay into a rehab center for people that do want to get better, that do want to improve their lives, and not give it to you. What are you going to do? Do something that's stupid that thousands of young people look up to him, idolize him. He's a professional player. He's a role model. And when you see him going, they'll probably think, oh, look, he's taking balloons. Oh, that must be okay because Basuma's doing it. You all know what social media is like, Ray. We all know what it's like. We know how peer groups can be very. Look, we've all we've all been young once, and we know we're a group of friends and we get pressured into doing something that we know we shouldn't do, that we know in ourselves is wrong, but you feel pressured into doing it. And Basuma, for me, is a 24-year-old man. I think he's 24. He's a 24-year-old man who should know better, and he lives a life of luxury, and he lives a life of what many people would love to do. And I feel also, lastly, before I let you, sorry, I get your thoughts on it, but for me, he's wasted a talent that was God given to him. And I just think he's a total twat, and he needs to leave our club now.
He's 29.
Okay, he's still a wanker.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. They say that young men generally don't mature until they're into their early 20s. And I think that's on average. So clearly, if that's the average, then there are some men who are still behaving very immaturely, well into their late 20s and 30s. Basuma is clearly one of them. And it's fine to want to be able to have a good time.
Yeah.
It's fine to want to enjoy yourself, but you learn, and trust me, I enjoyed myself in my early 20s. I really did. I can tell you some stories, damn it, but not on screen. Let me tell you some stories.
I can't imagine you being a Hellraiser somehow, Rain. I just can't manage it.
Mate, there was about 6 months I didn't see I didn't see home at weekend. I've got stories. Got stories that I'm not sure I'd tell my lad. I'm pretty honest.
Jeez. I mean, look, I'll just put this to you, Rain.
My point is,
yeah,
we have the benefit of being able to look back on what we did, and how we acted as young men and how we've grown. And he is going to get the opportunity to look back at what he has done in his late 20s, later on in life, and think, especially if he's going to start throwing it away like he's throwing away everything that he's got, like he seems to be, he's going to look back and he's going to go, if he's got anything about him, he'll realise that he did something wrong. So the last thing that I'll say on it is some of the best things that you see coming out of like Tottenham and other football clubs, and especially like this time of year, is where they have involvement with communities and involvement with volunteer groups. So especially around this time of year, you see, they'll go classically, they'll go and do the
Children's hospital or somewhere like that.
Yeah, exactly. And these are, and you see their faces light up. I actually, I'm a volunteering advocate. I think everybody should go and volunteer. It's something that I see as like a mental reset, and I think everybody says, "Oh, I don't have enough time." I think if you make an hour a week, you get massive amounts of benefit from it. But unfortunately, you got people like Basuma who don't understand what personal responsibility is.
No, and look, I feel that very quickly, just to end off this sort of stream and this what under Basuma thing, I just feel that Ange did play a role in this, that Ange didn't do as much as he could do when he was at the start. And I feel when this happened first time at the club, I think the club took an action of, okay, we're going to give him a 1-match ban. That's it. Well, it didn't work. Obviously, he's got a problem that he keeps going back and doing it. Then I feel somebody should take him aside and say, look at your inner circle. Look who's around you. You're a professional footballer playing at probably one of the greatest clubs in the world. Who's going to buy him now? Nobody's going to buy him in January. We paid a lot of money out on this kid, and we're going to get no return for it. And I just feel whoever he goes, he can't play. I think he might go abroad, I was told tonight, which I think he may end up doing. But I just feel Tottenham, and I feel Ange Postecoglou should have done a lot more last season, especially with his lateness and everything that was going behind. I think they should have done more. And I feel by not doing more, they've given them the license to carry on and doing what he wants to do. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm such a perfectionist, or maybe I'm a control freak that I want everything done properly and professional and done right. But for me, I just don't. I wouldn't want, if he was working on the channel, I would tell him to get lost very quickly. And that's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, but I think it comes back to your theme of this little section, which is player power. Because I definitely think I think that Ange tried to sort this out. I think Ange tried to be, to give him some positive reinforcement. The little story about it was that Ange, took him to one side and said, you could be. This is at the start. You could be a leader in this group. You've got talent. And then he was late the next day, and Ange was just like, I just don't get it. Because I want more carrot than stick when I'm dealing with people. I want to, I want to say that if you do the right things and you get rewarded, not if you do the wrong things you get punished. You know what I mean? Because ultimately, I don't want anybody to do the wrong thing. But it's just constant with him. It's just constant with Basuma. It's one thing or another. And the problem that the club has is that if any of us got, if any of us was in a job and publicly was shown to be doing things which I'm not sure if it's entirely legal. There would be a clause in my contract which would which would absolutely allow them to deal, to deal with me. But for players, how often do we see a player getting sacked for gross misconduct? How often do we see a player having severe disciplinaries? They don't even do the 2 weeks anymore, Dermot. They don't even do the 2-week fines anymore. It's got to the point where players there's no discipline on top of these young men at all. And Salah, segueing into Salah is another case in point. He clearly thinks he is bigger than the club.
Yeah, he is. I mean, I just don't get this player power at all, Rain. It never used to be like that. It never used to be like that. I mean, I'm just watching now Salah actually rearing up on Jurgen Klopp. Am I right to say, Rain, maybe someone in the chat very quickly, is there rumours going around that Klopp could take over at Real Madrid?
I don't know about Klopp. I mean, I've seen that there's unrest about Alonso, but I don't. I mean, if Madrid come calling, then I'm sure Klopp would be interested. You'd have thought.
It seems that there is stuff going around on X that he might be going to Real Madrid. And I think if he goes to Real Madrid, then Salah would definitely go to Real Madrid and follow him there. Now there is something else I want to talk about as well. There is an article. It says the Lewis Trust is conducting an accounting review into former chairman Daniel Levy's long tenure as a part owner and custodian of Tottenham Hotspur. The review covers all commercial aspects of the club approach, including sponsorship agreements, where the player and commercial contracts and payments were fairly valued. The decision signals a further deterioration in the relationship between Levy and the owners group, which removed him as chairman in September after a fallout over the club's direction and potential investments and takeover offers. Just very quickly on this, it just sort of been put up the next 4 hours ago. Do you think this is what's up there now, that it's more people putting stuff up or AI generated stuff, or do you think there's something in it? Because it's very interesting if the Lewis family is conducting an accounting review into Daniel Levy. What does that tell you of Daniel Levy then?
I'm really not sure what that means, to be honest. It can't be. I mean, my line of business. I've worked in corporate finance for 20 odd years, and I've seen audits. I've seen financial audits come in, and I've seen reviews of the operational models. Very famously in the early 2010s early 2000s. There was a couple of companies I worked for did a lot of sale and leasebacks. That was a massive thing. After financial reviews, it could be one or two things. It could be and various things in between. It could be that they think that I can't believe that they think that there was anything untoward going on, because I can't believe that would be the case. Maybe it's just as simple, if it is true, that they think that the valuations on the existing deals were not done correctly, and so I think AIA is coming. They're moving, aren't they? They're moving from being our shirt sponsor. It hasn't been announced who our new sponsor is.
I think that might be linked to our Tottenham. That might be linked to who sponsors the stadium, by the way.
Yeah.
That's just a gut feeling.
So it could all be tied with that. They could have been looking at that and thinking, when we were doing all these negotiations,
Hmm.
where not something there. Yeah. I thought he was talking about me abusing my body. Long past that. Is it that they've got several big things coming up? Stadium naming rights, you just mentioned, shirt sponsor.
Yeah.
And they're thinking, we weren't getting value for money. We should have been getting more money. It should. Were those deals done properly and negotiated properly? So less a sort of a conduct issue, with and more a, was it done the right way?
Yeah.
And yeah, who knows? Uh,
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Look, maybe there's a stream there, but we can look into it. But look, Rain, we are going to end it there. Listen, thanks again for joining me. A great night in Spurs, 3-0 win, a great result. Backs up the win on Saturday, so 2 out of 2. We're going for Sunday. You will see us during the week. Me and Tequila will be here tomorrow. Rain, I think you're with me and Tequila on Thursday for the squad thing.
yep.
So we will get you into that. Friday we've got all the sort of match day stuff as well. Saturday, we've got pre-game thoughts in the afternoon, guys. So do join us for that. And then of course we've got Sunday, all the watch along stuff, watch along pre-match pump ups. I think I'm on Dave's or We Are Tottenham TV. I can't remember which one I'm on. And then we've got the watch along, and then we've got the match reactions, and then Monday we have all the build up to our next game, which I think is we're playing Liverpool soon. I think that's going to be the big game up for Christmas. But Rain, where can people find you, bud?
Here, a couple of times a week, and as many times as you'll have me. Absolutely love coming on this channel. I'm on various other channels on a regular basis. But I've got nothing personal. I just like coming on and helping out you, mate, here, and having a chat with other people.
Well, yeah, thanks so much, Rain. Really appreciate it, bud. But look, sorry, I'll just mute that. Look, firstly, I want to thank you, Rain, for all the text messages and everything you sent when I was off with Mrs. Tron. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, bud. But I want to say a big shout out to this man. And I think he does deserve a massive shout out. Big up to James as well for doing the watch along and the match reaction Saturday. Did a fantastic job taking over, doing the watch along. Great watch along as well. Many people got to me, really enjoyed it. But this man deserves a special thank you, because he really did. When I left Tuesday without any knowledge, he didn't have to do the fan show Wednesday. He took the channel by the scruff of the neck. He said, "Do you know what, guys? I'm going to do it." And he did do it. And he did a fantastic job on Wednesday. He was a pro. He really was. I should be in danger of my job as lead host of this channel. I am in danger because he's coming up behind me and said, "I want your job, Sonny." No, big up to Tequila. And I want everyone in the comment section, everyone in the chat, to give Tequila a massive big up, because look, it's not easy hosting. It isn't easy. I find it a bit more easy because of who I am, and I find it a bit natural. Maybe I should have been a comedian or something in my years, but I do find it a bit easier doing it. But he did a fantastic job, Rain. You're on the show, and he'd done it like a professional. He led it, he kept it in check, he kept everyone on track. So big up to Tequila. And every day he WhatsApp me every morning, "Are you okay? How's Mrs. Tron?" I want to say big up to you, Tequila brother. You really were a lifesaver last week, and I dropped you in it And I didn't mean to drop you in it, but a massive thank you. Rain, do you want to say anything about Tequila before we head off? Because I think he deserves an awful lot of pundits. But
Yeah,
he's
no,
very good as well at what he does. But he's a good
yeah,
host, and a good co-host as well.
yeah.
He's Simon Jordan of this channel. That's who he is.
You know, I don't know Tequila that well, but what I do know, it seems like a top guy. So you know, and we get along, and the chats that Tequila and I've had, yeah, I could see Tequila being somebody who I sort of text on a regular basis. I'm just sorry, Dermot, that I don't, you know, live closer and be able to, you know, give you a hand, because
No, I appreciate it, bud.
because especially as blokes, we do tend to just get on with the job.
Mm.
We're not brilliant at asking for help, and you know, I think this goes for everybody. If you ever, you know, if you're in a tricky situation, that, you know, never feel that it's the wrong thing to turn to somebody else and say, you know, and have a chat. Just have a chat with them. You don't even have to ask them for help. Just have a chat with them, because if they're not willing to have a chat with you, then they're not worth knowing, really. So,
yeah, I have to say. So look, Tequila, I hope he went cheered. No, you deserved all that credit. You deserve all that credit, bud. You really do. Look, we are going to leave it there. We are back tomorrow night. I think me, Tequila, and a special guest. Now, we're leaving that out there. They may come on tomorrow or they may not, but we have to wait and see. Rain's back with a Thursday with us, where I think him and Tequila are going to keep me grounded when it comes to this squad of players. Because I'm going to
I think it's going to be a lively one. I think it's going to be a lively one.
It is. It's going to be a lively one. It will be. It will.
There's going to have to be. I mean, there's going to be some clears, and there's going to have to be some compromises. I think. So that is a good one.
One thing, Rain, I do believe what Tequila it does need sometimes something that needs burning down and starting again, and I think I do agree with that. But anyway, on that bombshell, we should leave it there. I'm going to go and interview. I'm going to go and get my Jim White sort of attire ready for Thursday. Tequila's going to go under the sunbed again get another tan as Simon Jordan does before he goes on, and get his hair ready, and you know, just get ready. And then Rain's going to come on and be the Martin Keown of the three of us, the Martin O'Neill. But on that bombshell, we should leave it there. Thank you all for watching. Do hit the like, do hit the subscribe. I would Jason Cundy. I know I didn't say Jason Cundy. I said Martin Keown or Martin O'Neill. That's these picks.
I got made into a gooner. I don't know how that happened.
Well, you can be Jamie O'Hara. It's up to you.
Quite happy. How about Jeff Stelling? I'll be Jeff Stelling.
Okay, there we go, Jeff Stelling. But that bombshell, look, we're only 8 or 9 away from 2,300. Let's get there before the Liverpool game. I would love us to do that, and then that would set us up nicely for 3K before the end of the season. But guys, thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, keep it real, keep it Tottenham. Come on, you Spurs. And in honor of Tequila, I am going to try and do an Ange Postecoglou impression. I'm going to balls it up now, but anyway, it's just who we are, mate. Good night.